whatever it is that happens in that ring, I'll show up and I'll come out on top.
I feel like people have not seen 30% of me.
They know what to expect. You know what to expect.
They get much bigger in this, does it?
Welcome to Manchester. Happy Halloween for anyone celebrating. Whilst today is Fright Night, tomorrow very much Fight Night. We are here because it is lights out. A light heavyweight bonanza coming up on DAZN. Today is the weigh-in. The fighters are going to see each other for the final time before tomorrow night's big show. Delighted to have with me former Team GB starlet Ruth Raper. Ruth, how are you?
I'm good and I'm very happy to be here.
Good to see you. And Willie Hutchinson, who has been here all week and is very excited, aren't you, Willie?
Yes, I'm very, very excited now for this main event. I'm looking forward to it, definitely. And you know what? The weigh-in, there's a good turnout coming today for this. It's one of the biggest I've ever seen, if you want to know the truth. There's a lot turned out. And
family, and it's quite busy in here, Ruth.
It is. I mean, this one has really captured Manchester's imagination. I know in the main event, obviously, Buatsi's from London, but on the undercard, we've got a lot of talent from Manchester, and they've really come out to support their own.
Yeah, 100%. And Manchester have turned up. There's two Manchester derbies on here. Brad Rea against Lyndon Arthur, City versus United, blue versus red for the European title.
Yeah.
What do you think of that fight? It's a fantastic one.
You know what it is? I think it's a very, very good fight. I think two good men, and they both know each other, as we heard them at the press conference yesterday, so they've got respect for each other. But I'm sure when the bell goes in the first round, they'll want to take that belt home, won't they? They'll want all the glory, and it's a great matchup, very similar, definitely.
Do you know what was interesting? They talked about sparring up there. So they've sparred hundreds of rounds over the years.
Yeah.
Brad Rea's under the impression that Lyndon Arthur thinks that he's still that kid from all those years ago.
Yeah.
Will that be a factor here?
I don't think he'll be thinking that there. He's not a kid no more, is he? He's a man. So I think it's just a little bit of mind games or whatever, but I don't think he'll be underestimating him. He'll be coming to give his all. He'll want to take that belt home, and Rea won't want to lose it, will he? He'll want to keep hold of that belt to push on for bigger and better honours. Yeah, 100%. And Ruth, of course, the main event, the Queensberry debut of Joshua Buatsi. Got to see him yesterday, got to speak to him. He's very focused, he's laser focused for this one.
He is. Whenever you see Josh, he's the consummate professional. He's never, ever, ever interested in talking about what lies next. All he wants to talk about is this fight and this fight only. And like you said, he's laser focused, and as he should be, because make no mistakes about it, this is a big fight for Josh. It's about proving that he still belongs at the very, very, very top.
Yeah, I mean, he is the bookie's favourite heading into tomorrow against Zach Parker. Is he rightly the favourite against Zach Parker? What's your read on this fight?
Yeah, he deserves to be the favourite for the fight, definitely. In my opinion, yeah, he's the better one of the two. But you never know. You never know how he woke up this morning. You never know what he did. You never know. You know, when fighters go to head to each other, you could have done the greatest camp in the whole world, you know. It doesn't take... The way you fought that morning can make a massive difference to what you are that night. So, you know what? It could be a 50-50 fight, definitely. And Parker could have a chance of pulling that out the bag. It's only one punch. But I'm more than sure he'll be wanting to go and take it and get the win and push on for world honours after that, won't he? But definitely Buatsi is the favourite.
Parker, for the first time ever in his whole career, says that he's 100% going into a fight. He said there's always been something going on, an injury or something outside of camp. That has to be a factor, right? This is the best possible Zach Parker.
Yeah, and that's a big component in this fight because, like you said yesterday, Zach's career has been very up and down. It's been very stop-start. He's had lots of injuries. He's not had much luck. But ultimately, that doesn't matter. He can't take another loss. If he really wants to prove himself at the world stage, here is where he makes a statement, and he is going to be wanting to make a statement.
He spoke quite well, I think, at the press conference as well. From Willie, from what I'll remind you what he said, because I'm not sure you were watching it at the time. But he said, you know, I've got a child, I've got a kid on the way as well. Yeah. I'm not just doing it for me now, I'm doing it for my family. He seems more determined than ever, and that adds something when you're not just doing it for yourself, Willie.
Of course it is, and not just that there. where he's at in his career, a little step back. Not that it'll make a big difference, but he won't want to step back. He'll want to push forward now. The full main goal of here is to become a world champion, and the person who steps back, he's less step away from where he could be, and that can, and especially if he's just had a kid and whatever, it'll give you that extra little kick as well. But he'll know in himself that little kick can make it to become a world champion, or that sort of step back.
Well, we caught up with both of the fighters yesterday. Let's hear from Joshua Buatsi.
Like you said, as a guy that's determined, he knows that winning this fight is very important to him. And to be fair, that's all I need to know. Once I know that this is someone that's hungry and knows a win here will propel his career, it makes him dangerous. So, you know, I'm dealing with a dangerous fighter, and we have to show that we're the better fighter on Saturday.
The winner of me and Buatsi will probably go on to fight for a world title, and that's what I've been in boxing for all my life. I started when I was like 4 years old. My dad was a boxer. All my family was a boxer. So yeah, I've been looking forward to these sort of nights for a long time.
Not just to Zach Parker, but to Joshua Buatsi as well. I know he doesn't feel external pressure so much. He puts a lot of pressure on himself, but he'll know he can't lose.
No, you've got to look at them both slightly different. For Josh, he's been at the world level and he's been there for a little while now. So in his head, he's thinking, I'm too good for domestic. I need to be looking at the guys right at the top of the table. So he knows he needs to win this. If he loses this fight, it's a huge step down the ladder, make no mistakes about it. Now, for Zach, it's almost the opposite. He's trying to prove that he's better than domestic level and finally climb his way up to that world title honours.
A factor here also is that Joshua Buatsi is bouncing back from the first defeat of his career.
Yes.
He came up short against Callum Smith. It was a wonderful fight of the year contender. But what will that do for the mentality? You've had to bounce back from defeat before in your career.
But everyone thinks different, and it all depends on the thought process behind it. When I got beat, I never thought anything of it, to be honest with you. In the last fight, I never even thought of the defeat. I thought, if I probably won it, I probably never thought of it. It's just, it is what it is. I've got to move forward, you know. So he's probably not thinking too much about it, to be honest with you. He's been round long enough, you know. He's boxed from a young man. He'll know. Well, listen, he's on this now, isn't he? That's past behind him now. He'll be wanting to push on, as I believe any boxer would be coming off a loss like myself. Now, I fought 3 weeks ago, but I want to push on, and that's where he is, and he'll push on again if he wins the fight.
Tremendous performance from yourself 3 weeks ago, by the way.
Thank you very much.
What is it that Joshua Buatsi does so well? You've shared the ring with him as well.
Yeah.
He's quite strong in there from what I could see.
Well, to be honest with you, like I said to you, the reason why I know when I said to you, it could be waking up in the morning and just you thought something's not right. I'm not saying that it happened. Well, I'm not saying that's happened to me, but that's what can happen. And for me, on the day I got beat fair and square, there's no questions about it. It was just one of those days, feet stuck in mud. But he's a good fighter, you know. He's a good fighter. He's a good, durable, strong man that wants to win. And sometimes it's enough.
Sometimes it is enough. That Callum Smith fight, though, Ruth, I'm sure you've seen it so many times. That was an absolute thriller, and it felt to me like we learnt something new about Joshua Buatsi there. Sure, he didn't get the win, but for me it felt like his stock went up.
It did. It's a weird one because in the past, a lot of people have kind of not been negative, but they've said it almost feels like he could go up again, and he just doesn't. He just about does enough. But with that Callum Smith fight, we saw something extra from him, something a little bit special, even though he didn't get that win. Now, something that I think is interesting is somebody said that in that Callum Smith fight, Callum knew what it meant to lose and how it feels to lose, and that's what gave him that extra little bit to push on and get the victory, whereas Josh didn't at that time know what it felt like to lose. So something we've heard Josh say a few times in the build-up to this is a soldier never goes into battle looking for the same outcome.
Yes.
So to me that shows that maybe he has tweaked something, a little something in training.
Well, let's find out. Let's have a look at what these fighters look like on the scales. They're about to face off and weigh in, and they'll see each other for the final time. Let's head over to your MC, Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official weigh-in for Lights Out. A great night of championship boxing tomorrow at Co-op Live in Manchester. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. 32 Red, Unibet, Riot Season, Global Next Trade, and That Prize Guy. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Well, a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that this great event will be broadcasted live worldwide on DAZN, and tickets can be purchased through ticketmaster.co.uk. Let's now get the weigh-in process started. Our first two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round super featherweight contest. First to the scale, coming to us from Callao, Peru. He is a veteran of 48 professional bouts. Let's welcome Cesar Ignacio Zordo Paredes.
Well, here comes Cesar Paredes. He'll be taking on Jermaine Lewayo tomorrow evening. Jermaine Lewayo, of course, the nephew of Derek Chisora. 32-year-old Peruvian here. Has become a bit of a familiar face around the UK. Been in with plenty of UK opposition. Royston Barney Smith, Charlie Sr. Let's see how he looks.
130.12 for Cesar Ignacio Zordo Paredes. And now we will welcome to the scale, from London, England, undefeated with 7 wins. 3 of his 7 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jermaine God's Plan Lewayo.
Well, here comes Jermaine Lewayo, the nephew, of course, of Derek Chisora. Fight number 8 for him coming up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see him in the ring. He's got a very different style to Derek, and it was funny, his last time out, even though everyone else thought he did pretty well, Derek wasn't very impressed.
129.7 for the undefeated Jermaine God's Plan Lewayo.
Yeah, of course, he was in action a couple of weeks ago on the George Liddard, Kieran Conway card at York Hall. Keeps himself nice and active on various cards. Derek Chisora, plenty of sway in the boxing world. Fight number 8 tomorrow night.
That's what you want early on in your career. You want to be busy, you want to be as active as you can.
He's a nice lad as well. Always very humble, very down to earth, good to chat to. Bit of a handshake incident
Once
there.
again, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round super featherweight contest. Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round heavyweight contest. First to the scale, from Poprad, Slovakia, a veteran of 61 professional bouts, here is Pavel Garage.
Well, Pavel Garage will be taking on Leon Hughes tomorrow evening. It's been all through the weights. It's been down as low as middleweight, light heavyweight. Pretty sure I've seen him fight Denzel Bentley before.
Yeah, he's done the rounds.
$174.15 for Pavel Garage. Our next fighter to the scale, from Preston, England, undefeated with 2 wins, both by knockout. Here is Leon Hughes.
Well, here comes the Preston man, Leon Hughes. I think it was announced as a heavyweight fight. It's not a heavyweight fight. I'm pretty sure this fight is at cruiserweight.
180.2 for the undefeated Leon Hughes.
You might have noticed there Hughes has got a familiar face in his corner, Michael Jennings, so that's going to be an abundance of knowledge in his corner.
Yeah, very much so. Managed by Kev Marie as well. Kev Marie sings his praises, says he's found another one. Looks a bit of a star, Willie.
Yeah, he does, to be fair. Yeah, he's in very good shape. He's in very good shape.
We do like a good stare down here. Fight number 3 coming up for Leon Hughes. Takes on the very well-travelled Pavel Garage.
Once again, these two competing tomorrow. They schedule a 4-round contest.
That's how well-travelled Pavel Garage is. He had to tell Leon Hughes to don't forget your picture face in the front as well. So he's been around the block, he's been around the game a long time.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a 4-round contest. We will first welcome from Metkovic, Croatia. 2 wins with 4 defeats. Let's welcome Antonio Borovina.
Well, Antonio Borovina, 29 years old, from Croatia, took on Mark Demori at heavyweight quite recently. That was Mark Demori's comeback fight after the fight with Filip Hrgovic. He didn't beat Mark Demori, but he'll be looking to cause a bit of an upset tomorrow night. Takes on young York cruiserweight Brad Casey.
$200 even for Antonio Borovina.
What a pro.
Now to the scale from York, England, undefeated with 1 victory. Bad Brad Casey.
Well, here is the York cruiserweight prospect, Bad Brad Casey.
201.7 for the undefeated Bad Brad Casey.
20 years old, 60 amateur fights. Hearing plenty of good things about Brad Casey.
Yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on.
He's a gold medalist at the Haringey Box Cup. They don't just give medals like that away, so he comes with a bit of pedigree. Fight number 2 for him tomorrow evening.
The 2 big lads, isn't there? They definitely are 2 big lads.
Well, this one's at cruiserweight.
He's only 20, so it'd be interesting
Once
to
again,
see.
these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled
He's a young gun.
4-round contest.
Ready to rock and roll and make his statement on the show.
Yeah, very much so. And being 20 years old, I think he was going to point out there, what, is he going to go to heavyweight? What does Brad Casey look like in 5 years from now?
You read my mind.
Yeah.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round super welterweight contest. First to the scale. From Querétaro, Mexico. He has 16 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome Eduardo Vera Zordo Sanchez.
Well, here is the 23-year-old Mexican who'll be taking on Luke Pryor. Luke Pryor's much anticipated pro debut tomorrow evening.
$150.6 for Eduardo Vera Zordo Sanchez. Now to the scale from Liverpool, England, making his professional boxing debut. Here is Luke Iron Pryor.
Here we go. This is a really good prospect. Liverpool are just churning out boxers at the moment, as they always have been.
147.10 for Luke Iron Pryor.
Yeah, plenty of hype around Luke Pryor. This is his pro debut coming up. Trained by Derry Matthews, managed by Sam Jones, who's obviously calling him the next Muhammad Ali, that as Sam Jones does with all of his fighters. But there's plenty of excitement about him.
He's got stars in his eyes. He's ready to rock and roll, I think, Dev.
He's looking serious.
He's looking very serious. If he wanted to get in there, get the job done, won't he?
He's a bit of a knockout artist in the amateurs. Won plenty. He's got a bit of menace about him.
Once again, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round super welterweight contest.
Are they super well?
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round bantamweight contest. First to the scale from Ciudad Neza, Mexico. He breaks a professional record consisting of 3 wins, 9 defeats, 1 draw, 1 win by knockout. Here is Brandon Gallardo, El Caballito Vargas.
Well, Brandon Vargas will be taking on young John Tom Very on his professional debut. Again, this is a familiar face around the UK. You may have recognised him from boxing young Hassan Ishak on his debut in Bournemouth not so long ago.
I've heard lots of things about John Tom Very. He's a very, very good boxer. I've seen him before. I've never seen him box, but I've seen him in the gym. He's a very, very good fighter. He's a young lad as well. Big things ahead of him.
Vargas. Now to the scale from Morecambe, England. A stellar amateur. He is now making his professional boxing debut tomorrow. Let's welcome John Tom Very.
Well, there's a lot of excitement in the Queensberry camp about this young man. Pro debut tomorrow evening.
115.8 for John Tom Very.
Elite amateur star and Willie Hutchinson, you've heard plenty about him.
I've heard lots about him. I've heard big noise behind this kid. World bronze medalist, European silver medalist. I've done a lot as an amateur, definitely.
Yeah, 6-time national amateur champion as well. And when it comes to young fighters turning over, Queensberry seem to be really sweeping up at the moment. We saw the debut of John Joe Carrigan a couple of weeks ago as well, and John Tom Very seems to be in similar kind of ilk.
That's it. I mean, obviously Mr. Wardley has proven that you don't necessarily need that huge amateur pedigree. However, we're all going to get excited and kind of keep an eye on the ones that do.
Yeah, absolutely, and John Tom Very has plenty of that.
Once again, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round bantamweight contest. Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round super middleweight contest. First to the scale, coming to us from San Jose, Costa Rica. He has 19 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome Jose El Pedro Aguirre.
Well, Jose Aguirre, 36-year-old Costa Rican, will be taking on Steve Clark, the Liverpool man, tomorrow evening. It'll be fight number 8 for Steve Clark. As he continues his development, of course, very much part of that Smith camp.
$161.4 for Jose El Pedro Aguirre. Now to the scale from Liverpool, England. Undefeated with 7 wins, 1 win by knockout. Steve Clark.
Plenty of noise in here for Steve Clark.
He is a really, really exciting prospect.
161.8 for the undefeated Steve Clark.
I believe Steve won the ABAs a good few years back, and also he's had at least 2 fights with another really good prospect, Jimmy Saints, and I tell you what, that fight in the future would be really a blockbuster.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got an eye on that. Of course, he's got very good, astute heads in Liverpool around him. Paul Smith, Stephen Smith trains him as well. They can't speak highly enough of Steve Clark. Another one of these emerging talents from Liverpool, Ruth.
Yeah, Liverpool is a hotbed, there's no doubt about it. If you're in the boxing world, you know that Liverpool is a place to be for boxing. It's just full of great amateur boxing gyms.
It'll be fight number 8 for him tomorrow. He hasn't lost a round yet as a professional. Hasn't put a foot wrong.
Looking very, very serious.
Once again, these two competing tomorrow in a 6-round contest.
Looks in shape, Willie.
Yeah, he does. Looks in very good shape. Very, very good shape. focused and ready to get the job done.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. First to the scale from Ireland, 6 wins with 1 defeat. Let's welcome David the Machine Ryan.
Well, David the Machine Ryan will be the opponent tomorrow evening for Khalil Majid, the Major. We've got the Major against the Machine.
Even for David the Machine Ryan. Now to the scale from Bolton, England, undefeated with 15 wins, 4 wins by knockout. Here is Khalil the Major Majid.
Majid is an exciting fighter to watch.
139.14 for Khalil the Major Majid.
He's got the legendary Buddy McGirt in his corner, and I'll tell you what, there's not many more people with much more experience you could want guiding you your way through the pro ranks.
Yeah, exactly that, 100%. He's 15-0 now so far in his career, fight number 16 for the 28-year-old, and it feels like he's due a breakout performance. There's been little moments here and there. Tom Farrell win was good. A good performance tomorrow night, and he can really start turning heads.
He's got a phenomenal jab. If you just have a look at the length of his arms there, he really throws that jab like a ramrod, and that tends to be what sticks out to me in his performances.
Once again, these two compete tomorrow in a 10-round contest.
Well, it was Khalil Majid who opened up Queensberry's first DAZN show in Manchester back in April, took on Alex Murphy, both undefeated. It was a brilliant fight, a gruelling fight. He got the win that night, and he'll be looking to do exactly the same again tomorrow.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 8-round light heavyweight contest. First to the scale, a native of Nigeria. Now fighting out of Manchester, England, he has a professional record of 14 wins, just 1 defeat. 11 of his 14 wins come by way of knockout. Here is Ezra Arenyaka, a.k.a. the African King.
Well, here is the African King that caused a bit of a stir at the press conference yesterday. Let's see if he makes weight.
177.3 for Ezra Arenyaka.
I mean, a few of you will be thinking, where do I reckon this guy from?
Now we will welcome to the scale from Troylston, England, undefeated with 13 wins. 5 of those 13 wins come by way of knockout. Here is Billy Turkish Tyson Deniz. 174.3 for Billy Turkish Tyson Deniz.
So I'm not sure what weights the fight was agreed at, but there's about £3 between them. Maybe it's been agreed at higher than £175.
Maybe he's been eating too many eggs. A few of you might be thinking, where do I recognise Ezra from? It could be from his fight with Ben Whittaker, where he kind of tried to headbutt him a little bit.
He looks ready though, doesn't he? He looks ready to go.
He definitely does. He was ready to go yesterday at the press conference, and Ruth, what you're referring to is when they faced off, which I wasn't sure they'd be allowed to do today. When they faced off, Ezra had an egg for Billy Dennis, slapped him with the egg, sort of missed, but they are talking to each other up there right now.
I was really impressed by how Billy kept his calm. He really didn't react at all.
Yeah, this is bad blood. This is an ill-tempered affair. Ezra offers the handshake. There is a handshake. And I wasn't expecting that.
Worldwide on DAZN tomorrow. It's 8-round schedule in the light heavyweight division.
Around 24 hours ago, Ezra Arenyaka was calling Billy Dennis a sausage. He was calling him all sorts of things. They've just shaked hands. I can't believe it.
You know what? You never know what's going to happen with boxing.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. it will be for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. First to the scale from Birmingham, England, 13 wins, just 1 defeat, 6 of his 13 wins by knockout. Here is Troy Jones.
Well, great ovation here for the former English light heavyweight champion, Troy Jones.
174.11 for Troy Jones. Now to the scale from Sheffield, England. His professional record consists of 23 wins, 7 defeats, 1 draw, 10 wins by knockout. Here is Liam Cannonball Cameron.
Will enter the Cannonball.
173.13 for Liam Cannonball.
We've got 2 real fan favourites here. Obviously, we've got Sheffield, we've got Birmingham, but they've gained a huge fan base just because they're so down to earth. They're such nice guys.
Yeah, absolutely that. And I'm so glad this fight is happening. After Liam Cameron's 2 fights with Ben Whittaker, he was linked to a fight with Darren Till. He was linked to a fight with Wakey Wines. It's neither of those guys. It is Troy Jones, a bruiser from Birmingham. It's a tough fight.
Originally, obviously, Troy was meant to be fighting Lappin, but you know what? I think the fans prefer this one.
I think so as well. I think Troy prefers this one. This is the sort of fight where you win it, you become a name.
Tomorrow is 10 rounds scheduled for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Liam Cameron, very much a man who has changed his life in the last 12 months or so. Troy Jones wants to change his life.
Definitely, and he's a stone throw away from that as well, isn't he? You know?
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be our chief support tomorrow. 12 rounds scheduled for the EBU European Light Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the scale the challenger from Manchester. His professional record, 24 wins, 3 defeats, 16 wins by knockout. He is the former IBO Light Heavyweight World Champion, Lyndon King Arthur. 174.13 for Lyndon King Arthur. Now to the scale, the defending champion from Manchester. 21 wins, just 1 defeat, 10 wins by knockout. Here is the reigning and defending EBU European Light Heavyweight Champion, Brad the Sting Rea.
Plenty of noise in here for the champion, Brad Rea.
$173.13 for the defending champion, Brad the Sting Rea.
We've got a fight, Ruth.
You know what? Another really interesting matchup, one that everyone can't wait to see. We've got City, we've got United. I think Lyndon is looking very tight at the weight, which is he doesn't normally look that tight.
You know what, that's interesting because when the fighters go on the scale, some of them take it in, you know, their name gets announced, they take in the crowd. He couldn't wait to get on the scales. I don't know if it means anything, but it kind of points to what you're saying, Ruth. What do you think, Willie? The shape of Lyndon Arthur.
Yes, yeah, he's in very good shape. But Brad Rea just got on them scales like it was nothing. It looked like he woke up this morning on weight and ready to rock and roll. This will be a very good fight, great fight anyway. I'm looking forward to this one.
It's blue versus red, it's City versus United, it's the Sting versus the King for European gold.
Live worldwide on DAZN. It's 12 rounds scheduled for the EBU European Light Heavyweight Championship.
I feel like Lyndon Arthur's had a little bit of a bee in his bonnet about being made the underdog in this fight. He feels like he's been the guy at the higher level. And if Brad Rea thinks he's not hungry, he needs to find out in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, our main event tomorrow, it is scheduled for 10 rounds, and it will be for the vacant WBA International Light Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the scale, from Swadlincote, Derbyshire, England. His professional record, 26 wins, just 1 defeat. 18 of those 26 wins come by way of knockout. He is the former British champion and the former WBO interim world title challenger, Zach Parker!
Fight number 28 for Zach Parker, and the most important of his career tomorrow evening. He says he feels 100% going into this fight.
174.9 for Zach Parker! And now we welcome to the scale, from Croydon, London, England, a 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, now with a professional record of 19 wins, just 1 defeat. 13 of his 19 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBO interim light heavyweight world champion, Joshua Buatsi!
Well, it's a huge moment in the career of Joshua Buatsi. It's the Queensberry debut. He's coming off that loss to Callum Smith in a fight of the year contender, but he will be desperate to get the win tomorrow night against Zach Parker. It's a great fight.
It really is. This one is all about Josh proving that he's a level above and Zach proving that he belongs at world level.
174.10 for Joshua Buatsi.
How did he look to you up there, Willie?
Yeah, to be fair, he looks fresher now than he did when he fought me. There's something about him in this fight different to when he fought me. He's relaxed, isn't he? He's calm.
He is calm indeed, but they're looking into the eyes of each other here. Joshua Buatsi and Zach Parker. They face off for the final time. WBO International Light Heavyweight Championship on the line tomorrow, but so much more than that. It's must win for both men.
Definitely. Because whoever wins have got me, Dev, next.
Well, Willie Hutchinson is ready to go. What do you make of the size of Zach Parker? You pointed out yesterday, Willie, that you felt that Zach Parker was much significantly
Zach Parker's
smaller.
got shoes on, and Buatsi's got no shoes on. He's still bigger than him. But that's life.
Willie's going to be at ringside with his gloves ready to go, just in case.
Live worldwide on DAZN tomorrow. This our main event. 10-round schedule for the vacant WBA International Light Heavyweight Championship.
Well, they faced off now for the final time. Plenty of noise in it. Willie, I'm telling you, the excitement's building for this one.
The excitement's building, it is. It's building very well. It's going to be an unbelievable night of boxing. I'm looking forward to it now.
And you mentioned there about Zach Parker. You do see him as the smaller man. He is the man coming up in weight, but he said he feels like a big, strong light heavyweight.
It looked like two different weight categories, in my opinion. I mean, he had shoes on, and Buatsi never had any shoes on, and he's still taller than him. But it could work out in a favour for him. He could be more fresher. He woke up this morning on weight and ready to rock and roll, you know. But I see a difference in Buatsi of when he fought me and how he's fighting now. He looks more calm. He looks like he's relaxed. And the few times I've seen him, because I've seen him weigh in before, he's never as relaxed as that there. So I hope he's not taking him too easy, because if he does, anything can happen. This is boxing. It takes one shot.
Well, let's bring in a man who is also looking very relaxed. The Sting is in town. Brad Rea, how are you?
I'm all good, yeah. Fun part now, innit? That's all the way.
Well, also, I guess you get to eat, right?
Yeah. You know what? I've had a bit of breakfast this morning. I'm all good. You know, I'm new to this 175 live, so got a bit of leeway, but feeling good to go. And yeah, time to go and refuel, rehydrate now, and then party time tomorrow night.
How did you find it up there with Lyndon? That was a fairly intense kind of face-off.
Yeah, like, the closer you get, you know, the niceness kind of dwindled away. But, you know, I've said it so much. It is what it is for me and Lyndon. We know each other very well. We get on. I like him. But tomorrow night, it all goes out the window. And, you know, I'm trying to knock him out. That's what I'm going in there to do, you know. And sure he's trying to really saying to me, is what it is. Afterwards, you know, we can shake hands, hug, kiss, make up, be friends again. But you know, for now, he's in my way.
Just wanted to ask, obviously a few people have mentioned sparring stories and all that kind of stuff. You've sparred lots of rounds in the past. Is that at all going to play into Saturday night?
Sparring means nothing, absolutely nothing. For the young kids on the show, I've probably punched my head in at some point in sparring, you know what I mean? Like, it means nothing, like different stage of the camp. Come in, off holiday, fat, unfit, had a few beers, weekend, like, it means nothing, you know. A fight, you've got two lads who have peaked, you know what I mean? We've had big notice, 12, 13 weeks for this. We're getting the best version of each other, and none of the sparring matters, you know what I mean? It matters who's going to win on Saturday night.
Is that something you agree with, Willie? All these sparring stories don't matter.
100%. I couldn't agree any more, to be honest with you. Sparring and all that, it means it's a meaning to an end. It's like tomorrow, and I wish you all the best, Brad. I like him a lot, and I wish you and Lyndon all the best. And it can be from waking up in the morning and just feeling fantastic in yourself. It's the same with that there. The sparring's meaning to an end, I believe. And everyone's got a sparring story. I've been battered and sparred more times than anyone can say to me.
It's part of the game we're in.
I've had it as much as I've give it. I probably give more than I've took. But it happens. It comes round. So, anyways, the only thing that matters for this man tomorrow night is when he gets some gloves on, is focus and get the job done.
100%. We saw you raise that blue belt up, that blue and gold. You're a very proud European champion, Brad, aren't you?
100%. You know, it's such a big major title, so prestigious, and you know, in a sport now where there is a lot of titles that don't really mean and don't really carry any weight, that title's big, you know. And look, I'm very proud to be EBU champion, and don't plan on losing that belt anytime soon.
Final one. You're a blue, right? Does it mean anything that title is blue? Is it like a message?
Yeah, it's written, isn't it? It's written. Why would that want to be sat on his mantelpiece, you know what I mean? It's blue, it belongs in the blue household, so yeah, it's a sign.
Brad, best of luck.
Perfect, thank you.
Great to see you, Brad. Sting, Ray in action tomorrow night, Manchester Derby. And you know, that's interesting, that all the stuff about the sparring. One thing I've heard Lyndon Arthur say is that he feels that Brad Rea has got a bit too much confidence based on the spar that they had a couple of years ago when he was injured. I wonder if that is a factor.
You know what, it's a funny one with Lyndon. I do feel, whenever I listen to him speak in the press conferences, all of that kind of stuff, he always feels like people slightly underestimate him. You know, Lyndon isn't the type of guy to go shouting and screaming about how good he is. So I think he feels that sometimes people underestimate him, but we're going to see who's underestimating who on Saturday.
Yeah, let's have a look at the tail of the tape, by the way. We've seen them now face off for the final time. Let's get some of these descriptives in there. Of course, Brad Rea, significantly the younger man in there. I mentioned at the press conference yesterday, this is the first time Lyndon Arthur is fighting someone really on the come up. We've got the Sting versus the King. Only that one loss for Brad Rea, that was against Tyler Denny back at middleweight. He's a whole different fighter now, of course, at light heavyweight. And Lyndon Arthur, IBO world champion, former Commonwealth champion, both from Manchester. That is the key part of that tail of the tape. What it says at the bottom, Manchester, Manchester. This derby, it's got the city talking.
Willie, does it make a difference when you're fighting in front of your home crowd?
You know, it all depends on the person, to be fair with you. I could fight anywhere. For me, I don't even notice there's even people in the crowd, if you want to know the honest truth.
Really?
I don't take a second thought. For some reason, when I go to fight, I don't even know if, to be honest, you don't know where you are. It's just, you're more, when that bell goes, I can't hear a thing. It's like nothing's in my head. But I do believe that fighters fight on their own like backing of fighting at home. They feel better, they feel comfortabler, they just feel more at home, really. So it all depends on the person, innit?
Well, that's the blue versus red, that's the Sting versus the King. The main event, of course, Joshua Buatsi against Zach Parker. We'll get the tail of the tape up here as well, and not much in it in terms of age, not much in it in terms of punch power, but of course significantly Joshua Buatsi's punch knockouts have come at light heavyweight. His whole career has been at light heavyweight. Zach Parker just coming up. Buatsi, the bigger man there at 6'2" against 6 foot of Zach Parker, something that Willie Hutchinson did indeed mention. And this one's not Manchester, it's Croydon versus Derby. And interesting there, WBO interim champion. Joshua Buatsi had that title. It's the same title that Joseph Parker had, same title that Fabio Wardley has now at heavyweight. It's a title that puts you so close. And he was nearly there, and he just lost it last time out.
That's it. That title, that interim title, is just to remind everyone, listen, I'm in reach and distance to a world title. So both men are going to know that this is a huge fight. It's a huge fight, and neither of them are going to want to lose.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's not the interim title on the line tomorrow, it's the international. But Buatsi, as a former interim champion, has come so close to climbing the mountain. That fight with Callum Smith earlier this year. Do you know what's interesting? And I don't know how much it does affect you. When you do lose a fight, it's not like football. If Man United lose this week, they play again next week. They get to put it right.
Definitely, they go on. For you, it's more. It's everyone's to their own, really. They look at it in one way or another. It depends how you digest it, isn't it? I believe the best thing to do with a loss is staying in the gym and go again. Because if you take that time out of the gym, I think it's your worst. You become your world's worst enemy. It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, and look, Joshua Buatsi said to me yesterday, he's a man who very much keeps himself busy. You know, he's always going to Ghana and whatnot, but it doesn't feel like a loss would have really affected him too much.
Well, it's the way that you lose as well. It does make a difference. Ultimately, in Buatsi's last fight, yes, he lost, but in my opinion, one of the best performances we've seen from him.
Yeah.
And it was a grueling fight, so he needed to have that time to rest. Ultimately, both of these men have had times in their career where they've not been as active as they should have been, whether that's through the business of boxing or whether that's through injury. But now they're both going to be wanting to stay busy.
Absolutely, and they'll be very busy tomorrow. Willie, thank you so much. You've been great today.
No problem. It's been absolutely fantastic, if you want to know the truth. I've had a well of a time with the two of yous, and I'll be back again.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
Good.
Thank you.
And we'll have you back as well.
Yes.
Ruth will certainly have
Been a
you
pleasure.
back. Thank you so much. You've been great today. And thank you for joining us. Hours are now counting down. It's tomorrow night. It's lights out. So much going on at the Co-op live on DAZN. Your main event, of course, the return and the Queensberry debut of Olympic bronze medalist Joshua Buatsi as he takes on the very hungry and very game Zach Parker. There's also a Manchester derby. Do not forget, City versus United, Blue versus Red, the Sting versus the King. European title on the line as Brad Rea defends against Lyndon King Arthur. That and so much more. Do not miss this one tomorrow night live on DAZN.
Whatever it is that happens in that ring, I'll show up and I'll come out on top.
I feel like people have not seen 30% of me.
They know what to expect. You know what to expect.
They get much bigger in this, does it?